At the beginning of the movie, we are immediately thrown into the middle of a dangerous operation. A heavily armed tactical team storms a secured commercial building from multiple entrances. Two operatives take control of the lobby, while the rest sweep through the bar, corridors, and upper levels. The frightened customers are ordered onto the floor as the team communicates through their radios, confirming every section they clear. They are not there to rob the building. They are there to rescue someone. Outside, the getaway driver notices two armed men approaching at high speed on a motorcycle. He quickly positions the vehicle near the exit and orders the person in the back seat to stay down. Seconds later, the tactical team emerges from the building carrying a briefcase and escorting a high-value target. The doors slam shut. The driver accelerates, and as the vehicle disappears into traffic, the team confirms that both the target and the package are secure. But to understand how this small group ended up fighting an army, we must go back to where the trouble truly began. We are introduced to Bobby, an extremely wealthy and influential businesswoman who once loaned $100 million to a powerful crime lord named Salazar. At the time, Salazar happily accepted the money. However, when the repayment deadline arrives, he suddenly behaves as though the agreement never existed. Bobby first attempts to settle the issue peacefully. She sends an experienced negotiator named Brexton to meet Salazar and recover either the money or assets equal to its value. Salazar welcomes Brexton into his luxurious estate and pretends he is ready to honor the debt. He hands over signed property documents, real estate deeds, and legal ownership papers that appear to be worth the full $100 million. Brexton carefully examines the paperwork and believes the matter has finally been resolved. On the journey home, he asks his driver and bodyguard to step out of the vehicle so he can call Bobby privately. Brexton reports that Salazar has settled everything, including the accumulated interest. Bobby is relieved. Unfortunately, the entire negotiation was a trap. Brexton's driver secretly works for Salazar. While standing beside the car, he sends a hidden message confirming that Brexton has accepted the documents and lowered his guard. Moments later, an assassin approaches the vehicle and kills Brexton before he can leave. The documents are taken back, the evidence of the agreement disappears, and Salazar believes the original debt has died with the negotiator. Bobby now understands that ordinary negotiation will not work. Salazar does not fear contracts, he does not fear lawsuits, and he certainly does not fear polite requests. So Bobby contacts a woman who specializes in solving problems that exist between the legal world and the criminal underworld. Her name is Sophia. Sophia is an advocate, strategist, and professional recovery specialist. Wealthy clients hire her when millions of dollars disappear into offshore companies, criminal empires, or fraudulent business networks. She does not simply chase money, she studies how powerful people protect it, then dismantles those protections one layer at a time. During their first meeting, Bobby explains the situation and asks Sophia to recover the full $100 million. Sophia agrees, but demands 20% of anything she retrieves. That would give her $20 million. Bobby refuses and argues that the percentage is far too high. After a tense negotiation, they settle on 10%. If Sophia succeeds, she will receive $10 million. With the agreement made, Sophia contacts the two men who handle her most dangerous field operations. John and Bronco. They are not ordinary bodyguards. They are experienced operatives capable of surveillance, infiltration, sabotage, extraction, and direct combat. Together with a small support team, they specialize in completing assignments that larger organizations would consider impossible. Sophia's first move is not violent. She requests a meeting with William, the senior legal advisor responsible for protecting Salazar's empire. Sophia visits William in his office and explains that his employer owes $100 million. She offers him the opportunity to settle the dispute quietly before the situation damages Salazar's international businesses. William is not impressed. He warns Sophia that Salazar's influence reaches across governments, banks, courts, and criminal organizations. In his opinion, Sophia is stepping into a conflict she cannot survive. While William is focused on intimidating her, Bronco secretly installs a small listening device inside an expensive trophy displayed in the office. Sophia leaves without an agreement, but she has gained something more valuable: access to Salazar's private conversations. Back at her operational headquarters, Sophia develops a strategy. She knows attacking Salazar directly would create an open war. His estate is heavily protected, and killing him would not automatically return Bobby's money. Instead, Sophia decides to attack the system that keeps Salazar powerful: his businesses, his shipping routes, his construction projects, his private accounts, his hidden financial partners. If Salazar refuses to return $100 million, Sophia will make him lose far more than that. John travels to Saudi Arabia, where Salazar is financing the construction of a massive luxury hotel. Instead of entering the site with weapons, John begins reading government records. He compares the approved building plans with the physical size of the project. The permit allows construction across 1,300 square meters. Salazar's contractors have expanded the structure to 1,500. The difference may appear small, but legally, it is enough to shut down the entire project. John gathers photographs, measurements, and official documents before presenting them to the local authorities. Government inspectors arrive and issue an immediate stop work order. Construction freezes. Thousands of workers remain on Salazar's payroll, but none of them can continue working. Materials sit unused. Deadlines are missed. Investors begin asking questions. And every day the hotel remains unfinished. Salazar loses more money. John then targets the supply chain supporting the project. At an international port, he pays a corrupt official to delay one of Salazar's cargo ships. The vessel is carrying 20,000 tons of structural steel. With one administrative order, the ship is sealed and prevented from unloading. The missing steel paralyzes several construction sites at once. More than 2,000 workers continue collecting salaries while the projects remain completely inactive. Salazar's money is now draining away every hour. Meanwhile, Sofia sends Branco and an engineer named Baker to a private island in Spain. Salazar owns an offshore oil platform there, producing millions in weekly revenue. Branco and Baker bribe an engineer working inside the facility and gain access to the platform's main power generator. Baker installs a tiny modified component inside the electrical system. The device does not completely destroy the generator. That would make the cause too obvious. Instead, it creates small, unpredictable power fluctuations. The platform's heavy machinery begins shutting down at random. Technicians inspect the equipment repeatedly, but every test shows that the system should be functioning normally. The workers restart the platform. It fails again. They replace parts. It fails again. Weeks pass, and Salazar loses almost $3 million every 7 days. He still has no idea how Sofia is doing it. At his estate, Salazar angrily summons William. He wants to know why government officials, ports, and engineering failures are suddenly attacking his businesses at the same time. William explains that these events are not accidents. Someone is targeting Salazar's financial structure with careful precision. Salazar suggests killing Sofia. William advises against it. If Sofia dies, her legal partners could launch international cases against Salazar's companies. Courts might freeze his assets before his organization has time to react. William tells him the simplest solution is to repay the original $100 million. Salazar refuses. He confidently reveals that the businesses Sofia has damaged represent only a small part of his fortune. Most of his real wealth is hidden through a private financial organization known as Wolfgang. The company manages secret accounts, offshore corporations, and illegal funds for powerful criminals. Salazar believes the money inside Wolfgang cannot be found. Unfortunately for him, the listening device inside William's trophy records the entire conversation. Sofia's team now knows where the real money is hidden. They identify Wolfgang's chief executive, Adam, as the man responsible for controlling Salazar's secret fortune. However, Adam's most sensitive computer systems are isolated from outside networks. Sofia cannot hack them remotely. She must place a device physically close to his private computer. To accomplish this, John visits an exclusive underground casino where Adam regularly gambles. John sits at a high-stakes dice table and begins placing unusually large bets. He wins repeatedly, building a mountain of casino chips. The other players gather around him, amazed by his luck. But after winning an enormous amount of money, John simply stands up and walks away without collecting anything. The casino manager reports the strange behavior to Adam. Curious and slightly insulted, Adam approaches the table himself. He challenges John to a private game with even higher stakes. This time, John begins losing. What Adam does not realize is that every bad throw is intentional. John continues until he owes Adam a huge amount of money. When Adam demands immediate payment, John claims that he cannot access enough cash that night. Instead, he offers a valuable decorative statue as temporary security. Adam accepts. The following morning, the statue is delivered directly to his private office. Hidden inside its base is a powerful short-range transmitter. As soon as the statue comes close to Adam's computer, it creates a wireless bridge between the isolated machine and Sofia's cyber team. Within minutes, the hackers enter Wolfgang's internal system. They begin copying account records, company registrations, transaction histories, and secret ownership documents connected to Salazar. For the first time, Sofia can see the complete structure of his hidden empire. She immediately sends the evidence to lawyers working across several countries. Applications are filed before international judges, proving that Salazar's companies are connected to illegal money and criminal organizations. The courts approve emergency asset freezes. At an airport, officers stop Salazar's private jet before it can take off. At a marina, authorities seize his super yacht. Banks begin locking his accounts. Companies under his control are prevented from transferring money. The walls around his secret fortune are collapsing. Salazar orders William to contact Sofia. He invites her to his private island and offers protection while they negotiate. Sofia knows the invitation may be a trap, so she sends her field team ahead. John, Bronco, Baker, and several other operatives secretly arrive on the island. A local contact named Javier provides motorcycles, tactical vehicles, weapons, communication equipment, smoke canisters, explosives, and boats. The team spends an entire day studying the island. They map roads, police stations, security posts, coastlines, escape routes, and possible ambush locations. Every journey is timed. Every corner is examined. Explosives are hidden beneath selected roads. Vehicle traps are prepared at narrow choke points. The team hacks into the police camera system, allowing them to monitor local officers in real time. They install devices inside police vehicles that can remotely disable their engines. They also place microphones inside the hotel room where the negotiation will occur. Only after all these preparations are complete does Sofia arrive. She enters Salazar's hotel with John and Bronco beside her. During the meeting, Salazar offers $350 million to end the attacks and remove the court restrictions. Sofia rejects it. He raises the offer to $400 million. She rejects that as well. Salazar becomes furious. The original debt was only $100 million, yet Sofia refuses 4 times that amount. He tells her she has already caused the greatest damage possible and no longer has enough leverage to demand more. Sofia calmly stands up. She informs him that her team has only exposed the accounts they already know about. They're going to continue searching. Then she walks out. Salazar watches her leave, realizing that he may be facing an opponent who is not simply trying to collect Bobby's money. Sofia intends to make an example of him. On the journey back, Sofia's team stops at a roadside bar. Sofia sits with Bronco while the remaining operatives quietly take positions around the building. 2 men enter and pretend to be ordinary customers. Bronco immediately notices the way they scan the room, hide their hands, and avoid looking directly at Sofia. They are assassins. Before they can draw their weapons, Bronco attacks. Outside, more gunmen open fire. The rest of Sofia's team responds instantly, covering the exits and guiding her through the rear of the building. 2 attackers on a motorcycle race towards the getaway vehicle, but the driver blocks their approach and pulls Sofia inside. The team escapes without losing a single member. 14 of Salazar's men are left behind. The movie has now returned to the action sequence we witnessed at the beginning, but the assassination attempt gives Sofia something even more valuable than survival. It frightens Salazar into making a mistake. Believing his remaining money is no longer secure, Salazar calls Adam and orders him to move every account, file, and digital asset to a new system. Adam begins transferring everything, but Sofia's cyber team is still secretly connected to Wolfgang through the device hidden in the statue. The moment the transfer starts, the hackers intercept it. Salazar unknowingly reveals every account he was trying to protect. Sofia forwards the new records to her legal team. Another emergency court hearing begins. Her lawyers request the seizure of the remaining offshore companies, digital holdings, and hidden accounts. The judge approves the motion. Within hours, Salazar's liquid fortune is frozen. He can no longer move money, pay allies, or protect his businesses. The man who once refused to repay $100 million is now close to losing everything. Desperate, he requests another meeting. Sofia makes him wait, allowing the panic to grow. When she finally returns to the hotel, Salazar offers $800 million. Sofia does not accept. She tells him that the situation is no longer about the debt. She plans to deliver the complete evidence to international prosecutors and ensure that he spends the rest of his life in prison. She walks towards the door. Salazar loses control and raises the offer to $1 billion. Sofia still leaves. Outside, she calls Bobby and tells her that the recovery operation is complete. She expects the agreed $10 million commission to be transferred. 3 months pass. Sofia is relaxing at a remote desert estate, believing the assignment has ended. Then she notices an unfamiliar vehicle approaching. She calls for her groundskeeper. No one answers. Sofia walks towards the property boundary and finds him dead. She returns to the house and discovers that her assistant has also been killed. Before she can reach safety, armed men surround her. They work for Salazar. Sofia cannot fight all of them, but she secretly presses an emergency button built into her watch. The device sends her location to John and Bronco. When the distress signal arrives, the 2 operatives immediately confront Bobby. They discover something shocking. Bobby never paid Sofia. After recovering Salazar's assets, she decided to keep the promised $10 million fee. She assumed the danger was over and no longer saw a reason to honor the agreement. Now Sofia has been kidnapped because Bobby removed the protection that should have remained around her. Bronco warns Bobby that the debt will be collected. Then the team prepares another operation. Sofia is taken back to Salazar's island and imprisoned beneath a police station controlled by corrupt officers. Salazar confronts her and demands the recovered money. Sofia explains that Bobby betrayed her and never paid the agreed fee. Salazar does not care. He threatens to kill Sofia and send her body back to Bobby unless the money is returned. The next day, John and Bronco arrive on the island with their full team. The traps, surveillance access, and hidden equipment from their first mission are still available. Their local contact reactivates everything. Disguised as police officers, John and Bronco enter the station through the front door. They move calmly until they reach the main desk. Then they draw suppressed weapons and take control of the building. The rest of the team enters, secures the corridors, and locates Sofia's cell. They release her and begin moving towards the exit. But several police vehicles suddenly arrive outside, carrying armed officers loyal to Salazar. John orders them to lower their weapons. They refuse. A gun battle erupts across the lobby. With the main entrance blocked, the team changes direction and breaks through the rear exit. Sofia is pushed into a waiting vehicle. The convoy speeds towards a secondary airfield. Salazar's private security forces begin pursuing them with multiple SUVs and dozens of armed men. When the first hostile vehicle reaches a prepared section of road, Baker detonates an explosive hidden beneath it. The SUV is destroyed. Motorcycle operatives move around the wreckage, firing at the vehicles behind them. From a helicopter, Salazar's commander watches the pursuit and confidently reports that 70 armed men are closing in on only 7 operatives. John realizes they cannot reach the airfield before being surrounded. He redirects the team to a fortified safe house prepared during the earlier mission. Inside, they take defensive positions. Bronco sets up a sniper rifle upstairs. A surveillance drone rises above the building, showing the approaching vehicles through thermal imaging. John blocks the ground floor entrance and prepares overlapping firing positions. The first hostile truck hits a hidden spike strip and loses control, blocking the driveway. 2 troop vehicles attempt to force their way through. Baker waits until both enter the blast area, then he detonates the explosives. The trucks are destroyed, but dozens of surviving fighters continue advancing on foot. Bullets tear through the walls. The safe house cannot hold forever. Bronco orders Baker to open the hidden tunnel beneath the building. The plan is to escape underground and emerge near the coast. Sofia and the team begin entering the tunnel one by one, while the remaining operatives continue firing. Then Baker realizes the blast doors must be manually controlled from the surface. Someone must remain behind. Bronco orders him to enter the tunnel. Baker refuses. He understands that if everyone leaves, Salazar's men will follow them underground and kill the entire team. Baker stays at the control station, holding back the attackers while sealing the tunnel behind his friends. He is wounded, but he continues fighting until the doors are completely closed. Then he triggers the remaining explosives, sacrificing himself to stop the enemy from following. Sofia, John, Bronco, and the survivors emerge near the coastline. They find a powerful off-road vehicle hidden in the trees and race towards the beach. Their extraction boat is waiting, but Salazar's helicopter appears above the road and opens fire. John drives into an abandoned concrete warehouse. The team takes cover inside as the helicopter circles outside. Bronco retrieves a rocket launcher from the vehicle. The building has one narrow window facing the coast. Bronco kneels beneath it and waits. When the helicopter passes directly across the opening, he fires. The rocket strikes the aircraft, causing it to explode in the air. With the final pursuit destroyed, the team races to the beach and boards the speedboat. Sofia is safe. However, John and Bronco are not finished. There is still one person responsible for Baker's death and Sofia's kidnapping. Later that evening, John and Bronco disguise themselves as maintenance workers. Carrying toolboxes, they enter Salazar's luxury hotel and use copied access cards to reach his private suite. Salazar is caught completely off guard. Before he can reach a weapon, Bronco grabs him while John injects a powerful sedative into his neck. Salazar collapses. They place him on a medical trolley, move him through the service elevator, and transport him to the loading area. His body is wrapped in industrial material and sealed inside a shipping container, headed for the United States. Days later, federal agents gather at an American port after receiving an anonymous tip. They cut open the container. Inside, Salazar is sitting on the floor with his hands restrained. The agents call him by his full name and present an international arrest warrant. Terrified, Salazar claims they have the wrong man. He insists he is an ordinary citizen named Mr. Smith. No one believes him. After losing his money, his businesses, his army, and his island, Salazar is finally placed under arrest. At the same time, Bobby is sitting inside her corporate office, believing she escaped the consequences of refusing to pay Sofia. The office door opens. Sofia walks in. Bobby is stunned. She thought Sofia was either dead or permanently trapped on Salazar's island. Sofia calmly sits across from her. There is no shouting, no long speech, no negotiation. Sofia simply tells Bobby to transfer the $10 million she owes. The movie ends by showing that Salazar was not the only person who underestimated Sofia's team. Bobby believed she could use them, collect her fortune, and then refuse to honor the agreement. But Sofia does not forget a debt, and after watching her destroy Salazar's entire international empire over one unpaid agreement, Bobby knows that sending the money is no longer optional. Now here is the real question. Who was more foolish? Salazar for refusing to repay the original $100 million, or Bobby for watching Sofia destroy him and still deciding not to pay her $10 million fee? Drop your answer in the comments because both of them made extremely expensive mistakes. And if you watch Sofia and her team cross several countries, freeze an international fortune, survive an assassination, escape an island, destroy a helicopter, and deliver a crime lord directly to federal agents, but you still have not subscribed, then you are becoming more stubborn than Salazar himself. Do not wait until Sofia sends John and Bronco to recover that subscription personally. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment telling us which member of the team impressed you the most.